What's up, YouTube? What's going on, Twitch? You know what I'm saying? YouTube me, Twitch, Twitch me, YouTube. Let's come together. Let's be a happy family. It's Shoot Quan Shoot. You did, yeah. So we back with another video. You know what I'm saying? Another episode of the series, The War in Chirac by DJ Academics reaction video. You feel me? And today we're gonna be going over KI. You feel me? KI, aka Lil Snoop, know what I'm saying? Uh I can hear the neighbors pissing, y'all. My fault. Alright, so KI, yeah, KI, you feel me? I remember, how did I first hear about KI? I think I first heard about KI through DJ Academics, I think. You feel me? Either either DJ Academics or College Kid. Can't remember which one. You feel me? Cause at that time I was watching World Star, and then I'll go to YouTube, look at DJ Academics. Well, World Star will post College Kids videos, so that's how I got on College Kid. You feel me? So it was either DJ Academics or College Kid, but regardless, that's how I had first heard about KI or whatever. You feel me? I'm gonna be real. I don't know too much about her except for what y'all gonna hear in today's video. You feel me? So and what is that is basically like I heard like she was like the female assassin down there in Chicago. You feel me? Like she was out there catching bodies. You feel me? After the death of I forgot who it was, but after the death of somebody in Chicago, she just turned up. You feel me? She turned up, jumped out there in that field, and she got to catching bodies, or allegedly. You feel me? But then I eventually heard on YouTube. You feel me? I eventually heard that she wasn't catching bodies. You know what I'm saying? She was not catching bodies. So I don't know what's true or what's not. Y'all know me. I really don't care if it's true or not. You feel me? But this video is gonna be in remembrance and dedicated to KI. You feel me? So rest in peace to Gakirah, aka KI. You feel me? And let's dive straight into this content.
It's your boy DJ Academics, and Chicago police are saying that a Chirac savage who was killed in the war in Chirac and who was 17 years of age, that she was a serial killer. Now, Negroes are saying that she has allegedly over 10 bodies to her name, while police can only verify that this person was only an official suspect in about 6 different shootings. But this savage goes by the name of Gakirah Barnes, also known as Little Snoop. Now, Little Snoop was a mentally ill animal. She bragged about being a quote-unquote hitter. And for those who aren't hip to the Chirac Coon Urban Dictionary, a hitter pretty much means a murderer. Now,
This nigga be chatting, bro. Hitter is not a Chirac term. You feel me? Hitter is everywhere. So why he just try to say these coon vocabulary from Chicago? No, hitter is a world is a United States term. You feel me? Like niggas from all over say a hitter, my hitter, my hitter, my hitter, my hitter, my. You feel me? And nigga, that's Atlanta right there. You feel me? Like everybody said hitter. You know what I'm saying? This nigga just be on this bitch chatting, bruh. Chatting.
it was said that she got a high just off murdering people, and she took murdering people so serious, that's why she adopted the name Lil Snoop. And for those who don't know what Snoop is or Lil Snoop is, if you guys have seen the TV show or the hit TV show The Wire that I've mentioned a couple times, Lil Snoop is muscle for Marlo. So pretty much killer on payroll for a drug dealer, right? Now, Gakirah even went as far as dressing and also looking like a male just like Snoop, who's a fictional character on The Wire. Now, this is my problem with this whole thing. First of all, I love Chicago music. Contrary to popular belief, I listen to and enjoy Chief Keef To me, Finally Rich is an ignorant classic. When I'm drunk on the weekends,
He said a ignorant classic. How is that even a compliment if you call it ignorant? What is your definition of ignorant? Know what I'm saying? What is your definition of ignorant, bruh? Black? Gangster? What? You know what I'm saying? What is your definition of ignorant, bruh? Because they say, know what I'm saying, slide on the ops and do this and do that. Know what I'm saying? So would you label Fuck the Police a song that's directed towards the police? Would you call that a ignorant classic as well? Know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is your definition of ignorant, bro?
nothing goes harder than the whip. Also, I like Lil Durk music. I also like shows like The Wire, Breaking Bad, even though they celebrate, well, not really celebrate crime, but they depict a crime-filled story. Now, the thing is, while enjoying all these types of art, because I do believe that people should have the freedom of expression to make whatever type of art they want, even if it's about violence, whatever it is. If people consume it and people could relate or people find it entertaining, it should be allowed to be made. Now, the thing is, people have to learn to separate entertainment from reality. When I listen to Chief Keef, and I just heard him murder 30 niggas with his llama, I don't really think that's true. I don't think that I need to go murder 30 niggas with my llama either. It sounded good in an MP3, it's entertainment. Reality, I'm not killing 30 people. Simple. Obviously, certain people don't get that. People go watch a movie with someone named Little Snoop, now they're thinking they gotta be Lil Snoop and Chirac. That's one of the reasons I get mad at these artists is that after they got rich, after they got famous from singing about all this fuckery, they still continue to do it. Chief Keef, you're rich. You shouldn't be doing anything savagery at this point. You're a businessman. Nunu, Rondo number 9, you guys allegedly had record deals. You guys should be staying away from the streets, not continue to try to kill people or commit murders. But now this hitter, or as I like to call it, this damn serial killer, because the definition of a serial killer is someone who has murdered over 2 people within a month in separate times. So within a short period of time, they've committed multiple murders without even cooling off. And from what these Negroes are hyping up, because now it's a legend. It's a legend about quote unquote Lil Snoop. She was a famous hitter. She's a female and a shooter. Apparently, if she's shot this many much people in a couple of months, that is the definition of a fucking serial killer. Now, I will say this mentally deranged serial killer who got killed by the same thing she enjoyed doing, the earth is much better off without her. Apparently, she got killed when it looks like, just straight out of the scene of The Wire, some hooded individual walked up and shot her in the head. Something to that effect. Anyway, police is even saying that she was obsessed with murder to the point that she kept a stack of newspaper stories of people who she allegedly killed or her friends that died. She was getting a high off being dead. This shit is disgusting and ridiculous. If you don't think these Chirac savages are mentally ill, I don't know what to say. Now, her being a scum doesn't stop there. Her mother is also a scum. She acted like she was blind to the fuckery that her child was doing. After seeing her child, because Lil Snoop did get charged and went to court for one of those cases, and then it got dropped because the eyewitnesses at the last minute said, I don't think I'm going to be pointing out nobody against no Lil Snoop. Straight out of The Wire, right? Now, after getting off from that murder and eventually committing other murders in the street and then dying herself, her mother then gave the quote, well, I can't say if my daughter killed anyone because I asked her one time if she was killing people and she said no. Wow. You see why Chirac parents ain't shit? You just ask your child if they committed multiple murders? That's as far as your parental investigation goes? I mean, I swear that in any other place except Chirac, a little bit more thorough investigation would have went down. You can't even tell your parents, oh yeah, I got my report card, I got all A's. They'll probably go to the school at least to check. So as a Chirac savage parent, you just ask your child, did you commit any murders? and just take her on face value? Wow. Now, the thing is, I believe, and I thoroughly believe this, to some extent, the sins of the daughter should be transferred or paid for by the parent who has shown tremendous neglect and has caused so many other people to die. The takeaway from this whole story just says that single parents ain't shit, and especially in Chirac, we need some contraceptives, or we gotta start giving out free abortions. These single moms is pushing out kids by the dozens. They're all killers. They're killer drones. As I said, they come out pre-programmed with a kill script. It says, kill all ops. That's what it is. And the mental illness in Chicago has shown that these people are growing up thinking that being dead and being a block legend, a notorious hitter, is actually an accomplishment. Being dead is a trend in Chirac. Now, of course, it's disgusting. I want you guys to get in the comment box. Let me know what you guys.
That nigga academics be chatting, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He be chatting. But I'm trying to see. I'm gonna look at it from two sides, you feel me? The comment where he said about the mama asked her, "Are you killing people?" You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak on that from two sides. First and foremost, one side, academics is right though. You feel me? Like you just gonna take that word and then just take it, run with it. You feel me? But now I'm looking at it from another side, which is where my mindset, how I'm set up. Just because that's how the mother worded it, that's not all that occurred. You feel me? When you a parent and you speaking out to the public or whatever, you're not finna sit here and break every key point down. You ain't finna sit here and explain every detail. You feel me? You gonna take the main source of what you trying to speak upon. You know what I'm saying? The main subject, and then you just gonna get straight to it. You feel me? I know because I asked. You know what I'm saying? But in private, which is under your umbrella of your home, your house, you know what I'm saying? More, I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying? From my perspective, I'm pretty sure that more happened as far as I'm sure the mother done checked drawers, you know what I'm saying? The mother done took certain precautions, but I'm also sure that the mother might have whether heard something in the streets or seen some shit on the internet, which drew to people telling her like, you might want to go check out her Twitter. So the mother done looked on Twitter and now she sees her going back and forth with motherfuckers, and she's seeing the different videos that she posts with the guys talking about, yeah, fuck woo woo, hey, we outside, woo, all that shit. You feel me? So that's what made the mother ask the question. But I'm pretty sure more had happened. Know what I'm saying? But what she spoke out and said, that was just the main point. You feel me? But let's dive into another video of KI, man. I got a lot of shit, don't I? Alright. So, college kid. This is where I seen a lot of Chicago shit at. You feel me? For y'all that can't read, hey, SEL EBT member KI, you feel me, was murdered Friday, April 11th, after she was shot multiple times. If I can remember, it was 9 times from her neck, jaw, leg, and chest. You feel me? Around 3:30. Why a lot of Chicago niggas die around 3 o'clock? I don't know if y'all be paying attention, but a lot of Chicago people died around 3 o'clock, bro. Know what I'm saying? Duck died. Duck died at what? Like 3:30 or 4 or some shit? You feel me? Like, damn, alright. And that was just one person, but there's more people that died around that time. But times around 3:30. Alright, in the 6400 block of South Everhart Ave, alright. She suffered gunshot wounds to the chest. Yeah, right there, chest, neck. But she also got shot in the leg and the jaw, if I can remember. Alright. I'll go to the next one. Alright, she was too old to be transported to the Chicago hospital. The closest medical facility, 1.5 miles away. One has to be under 15 to be admitted. KI was what the hell? So you trying to tell me if you shot and you dying, only certain hospitals can take you? Hey, save a life, bruh. You feel me? A motherfucker should be able to go to any hospital. You feel me? That's just my opinion. Nearly 2 years ago with the loss of her. Alright. Yeah, that's what it was. After the death of her brother, Taekwon. You feel me? That's when she teed up. Alright, alright. You gotta speed this shit up, bro. You gotta speed this up, bro. Alright.
Finna be discussing rappers who were allegedly killed by KI and some other dirt that she allegedly got into. Before we start the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you would like to join this month's giveaway of one of these items on the screen, and helped her gain fame for herself as a shooter. It all happened when she and an associate, but is hands down her most notorious, and good luck. KI's first hit wasn't on a rapper, but is hands down her most notorious, and helped her gain fame for herself as a shooter. It all happened when she and an associate of hers by the name of FBG Butter were rolling around on Tuka's birthday. Now, Tuka and KI were close, and many think that it was his death that pushed her to the point of actually becoming a killer. Well, as it happens, on Tuka's birthday while out op shopping, the pair ended up spotting Odie Perry, a well-known member of the Black Disciples. Odie was riding his bike when they spotted him and decided he was finna be their target. The two allegedly upped their guns and pulled the triggers, emptying them into Odie. This changed everything in that area. The streets not only got hotter, but this is also when the area began to adopt the name O Block, and this was only the first of many hits that KI was getting ready for. Jerome Wood, who was better known by his crew as J Money or J Munna, was a well-known banger in Chirac and well-respected among anyone who ran with him. J Money grew up in the O Block area surrounded by Black Disciples, so it didn't surprise anyone when he ended up running with them and becoming a BD himself. As he grew close with his crew and made his way through the ranks, he ended up developing bonds with big artists like Lil Durk and soon began rapping himself, even going as far as being signed by Durk and becoming a member of the OTF rap group. Now with the camaraderie that comes with being a BD and OTF.
So you're looking to make music? Well, Soundtrap is the perfect tool for you. Today I'm going to show you how to tune your vocals using
member, it should have been said that it also comes with the same amount of problems. I mean, everyone knows that the BDs have ops all over the city, and so does Durk and OTF. I mean, I feel like almost once a year, if not more, we lose a member of OTF to some sort of violence, you know? And it looks like that cycle didn't skip over J Money, who met the same fate as many before him. On September 2nd, 2013, on Labor Day, J Money was hanging around the 6600 block of South Rhodes Avenue when his life met a tragic end. According to sources, J Money was run up by two people and ended up being gunned down in the process. He was 21 years old at the time of his passing. As soon as news began to spread about what happened to J Money, those close to him began to mourn. His friends and family began posting their feelings on social media to let the world know what was going on. Lil Durk posted on Twitter about the incident saying, "R.I.P. J Money, we lost a savage who put tears in a nigga's family eye. You ain't never forgotten. Hashtag OBlock300. Fuck the bricks." While many were mourning the death of J Money, his ops were doing as ops do and mocking the man. Rival gang member and rapper FBG Duck ended up tweeting out, "O Block, sorry for y'all loss, LMAO." And it wasn't long after that the rival rappers began using his name in their diss tracks. It's the same old nonsense with that. Now, no one involved in the shooting of J Money has been arrested or convicted, but there was immediately a lot of talk as to who may have done it. And two names that people seem to keep landing on are Lil B with assistance from Gakirah Barnes, aka KI. Though that is just speculation, that seems to be the most common response as to who killed J Money. Now with the next one, it's a bit confusing on account of how much varying information there is surrounding who killed Big Low, aka Blood Money. You see, Blood Money, whose real name was Mario Hess, was a rapper from Chicago and was actually Chief Keef's cousin. He was signed by Glory Boys Entertainment before being gunned down in April of 2014. Big Glow had been chilling with someone when the two were approached by two men around the 5600 block of South Elizabeth Avenue at around 9:30 p.m. and according to reports, Big Glow was shot 10 times from two different types of guns, according to the shell casings found at the scene. He was found by first responders lying in the street only to be pronounced dead shortly after arriving at John H. Stroger Hospital. So here's where it gets a bit confusing. The question was, who shot Big Glow? And it seems K.I. is the one that people is being named a lot. The other person that people are claiming killed Blood Money was a totally different banger with a similar name. That person goes by the street name Killer K.I. and is a member of M.O.B. And it seems a lot of people are getting the two different shooters mixed up. And because of that, no one can really know which one was the hitter. People claim K.I. wanted Big Glow taken out because Big Glow was allegedly involved in the death of Lil B, the person that she allegedly killed J Money with, while others are claiming it was Killer K over beat that they had. Some people are also saying that it couldn't have been Killer K.I. because at the time of Big Glow's death, Killer K.I. was locked up, but that hasn't been confirmed either. Remember, this is all speculation based on what people are saying. The only people who really know what went down are typically the shooter and the victim. But the biggest claims for the Blood Money hit seem to be the K.I. or Killer K.I. After making a name for herself as one of the most dangerous shooters in Chicago, it seems like she was being tasked with taking out people other than just her ops. It's rumored that K.I. would often take on hits from outside sources to make a little bit of scrap on the side. And one hit that allegedly almost went down could have possibly changed the Chicago rap scene as we know it. Rumors with screenshots to back them up have begun to circulate that claim that K.I. was planning on taking out G Herbo for an unknown man who was willing to pay her for her work. A screenshot shows a DM exchange between Gakirah.
Okay, I remember this. I remember this shit, bro. I remember
Barnes and a buyer that shows the two discussing the details surrounding the hit. The man ordering the hit lets K.I. know that money isn't an issue, insinuating that he has the money to pay her for as many hits as he needs. K.I. goes on to reassure him that when it's on, that means it's on, and that she doesn't play games. She even brings up a reference to another hit that she had allegedly been responsible for by saying, "I know you heard about them twins." After a few more exchanges, the conversation appears to end, and it was all just a matter of time for the two to meet up, exchange money, and move on with the hit. This never ended up happening, however, because before any money could seemingly be exchanged, Gakirah Barnes ended up getting shot and killed herself. Many people believe G Herbo was lucky not to have K.I. coming after him because apparently there weren't many people that she aimed at who survived. One of the scarier things about Gakirah Barnes was that she was so good as a shooter that her associates often had her training the new members how to shoot and roll up on someone. She was teaching them the best way to get the drop on their ops, and many will argue that because of this, she's a part responsible for bodies dropping even to this day, years after her death. And if that's the case, her assisted body count is higher than anyone could imagine. Some will say that she was the biggest threat that O-Block had, and some think that she's still a problem for them. If even half of the things that people say about Gakirah Barnes hold true, she was not someone that you wanted to be messing with. I'm sure a lot of her ops were happy to hear that she couldn't get at them anymore. But what do you guys think? If she trained this generation of shooters, is she still a problem for Chicago, or are people reaching too much with that claim? Be sure to let us know in the comments.
We've got them here.
Yeah.
I was trying to up. Yeah, I was trying to us. I was like, damn, you and shit.
The exact text was something along the lines of, "When it's all over with, I'm gonna get up in you," or something. Does that sound about right?
That's something, that sound raw, so yeah, I'll be saying raw. Yeah, I probably did say that. I called you, I talked on the phone too.
Yeah, he really liked it, Gakirah. And he was like, well, she too pretty for that, and tell her to stop gang banging, you know.
He liked her as a girlfriend?
Yeah, he wanted to be her boyfriend. And she just felt like he was trying to set her up and kill her. That's what she told me. She like, I think he's just trying to kill me. He don't like me. What's the like?
It wasn't long before Gakirah's death was being mocked online. But over in O-Block, King Von felt differently.
When you tweeted once, you said you miss her.
Yeah. Cause we used to be talking on the phone. Like that's somebody like somebody you DM and talking to, and then one day they just gone. Now you like, damn, who the I'm talking to now?
To stop breathing in front of the house. You never did nothing. You never did nothing, boy. You know what I mean? Niggas died behind that black shit, you goofy ass nigga.
Man, ain't shit. Ain't nobody that shit, nigga.
Nigga.
Gutter died behind that shit. Y'all ass died.
Your sister, hey, look.
My sister was splacking y'all ass.
Your sister got did so dirty. Y'all living off the name that they fake created in the street. That bitch wasn't no assassin. That bitch got smoked.
Oh, she
How many times she got hit?
Blood money.
How many times she got hit?
Ask blood money. Ask OD.
How many times she got hit?
Ask Sherrod. Ask Batum. Ask
Your
Junior.
ass a fucking goofy,
Took I keep naming, folks. Them bitches
you see what's going on? Read the comments. Butter number 12. Your ass number 12, boy. You doing all this shit for the internet. Hey, you
man,
doing
look,
all this shit
I
for the
told you,
internet.
folks. I'm just riding around Chicago right now for my
You's a
challenger,
bitch.
folks.
Then y'all was TW crazy to a motherfucker through that backdoor party for Smelly Melly. Then,
What? I'm still TW. I got that tattoo.
They ain't with us. Your ass an outstanding snitch. You see what they said? You was a fucking rat.
You say what, bro?
What ain't no killer? What he killed? His bitch ass was in that crime. Ain't no killer in no police station crying, shorty. Keep it facts. You and that bitch crying like a baby.
Just because your internet service bogus.
Hey, you and that bitch crying. You in there crying and signing statements.
Yeah, you just because your Wi-Fi ain't working right now.
You can never, ever stand next to me. You's a bitch. I will beat you to death, and I'll go piss on your sister's grave on gutter, nigga. You's a bitch.
Hey, I can't even hear you, my nigga, you know?
You been a bitch.
You know?
You hear me?
Like,
what have you done?
City got my challenger right now for like, I'm all through this bitch right now, my shit for like, and I'm by myself too.
Man, then you talking about you let a nigga pass you. Every
Okay. So what I got from that is a nigga named Butter just got the naming people that K.I. allegedly killed. You feel me? That's why he said, go ask such and such. Go ask such and such. Go ask such and such. Because every person that he's listing is dead, which is the people that she allegedly had killed. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's one of them street games where you like, man, go ask that dead nigga who killed him. And then the dead nigga's supposed to be like, man, I died because such and such killed me. You feel me? It's like one of them little games and shit. You feel me? But from just what he said, he named like what, 7 people, but also said I could keep going. Hold on.
Living off the
you
name
lying, bro.
fake created in the street. That bitch wasn't no assassin. That bitch got
Oh,
smoked.
Tuka, she
How
was
many
black
times
and
she
shit.
got
Ask
hit?
blood money.
How many times she got hit?
Ask blood money. Ask OD.
How many times she got
Ask
hit?
Sherrod. Ask Batum. Ask
Your
Junior.
ass a fucking
Oh,
goofy,
Tuka, I keep
man.
naming, folks. Them
Hey,
bitches
you see
under
what's
there.
going on?
Phone
Read the
them, forever
comments. Butter number 12. Your ass number 12,
Yeah.
boy. You doing
He named 5 people and said them niggas is under there, which means they 6 feet deep. They dead. You feel me? Okay.
Look, Kenny, you some hoe ass nigga on the G, boy. You got me fucked up on cheat. You know I ain't rocking like that. I never been a lame, and you already know that on cheat. You got me fucked up. You already got your ass smoked. Don't get smoked again, though. You hear me? On cheat.
Diabetes.
On cheat. That why I like you. Why you already know how that shit go. Fuck
OD.
Chris. Talking about a fucking Chris wheel. Y'all some shorties, man. On cheat. Y'all got me fucked up on the G, man. It ain't shit to get rid of y'all on the mans. It ain't shit to get rid of y'all on the G. Believe me. For real, y'all got me fucked up.
OD.
G, fuck him. And fuck Sherrod too. Sherrod just got his ass smoked. Don't be the next.
Fuck a Baldy. Fuck a D-Dang. Fuck a Shaq.
And G, I know how that shit get done.
Hey,
But we in
Shanako.
this bitch though. I mean, this is out here with
Shaq.
Broski, man. And
Fuck
G,
you, man.
we
We out
rolling
here,
off
man.
these
Just got
jockers,
out.
man. And
Off the
G,
red monkeys can't stay still, man.
Can't
Shout out to
stay
Trey
still.
P, man.
And
Shout
G.
out to Dion.
Shout out my broski, Lil
man.
George Twinno back out
Fuck
here,
you,
man.
man.
You already
We
know
out
how
here.
that shit go.
Fuck you, man. We out here free guys.
But we finna go roll up
Fuck
a
you,
dope or
man.
something.
Free Brian,
We ain't
nigga.
finna cheat.
Finna go grab these switches, nigga. And we
shout
got
out
the
number
hammers
3,
on deck,
man.
nigga.
Cheat. FBG
Show 'em the
shit,
hammer,
you know
man.
they get it in, man.
Show 'em.
We already know how that shit go, man. We don't be out here lacking. We just get it cracking. Tuckerville, we get it cracking. You hear me?
Bitch.
Y'all ass is not in the field. Stop fucking flexing when they do all this fucking Facebook shit, man.
Goofy.
TP for real. You already know we on our tutu gang shit on the G, boy. I got us fucked up. Cheat, we that side, the side we on. That's what I'm real with us from on Cheat. Free the guys though. On Cheat, free little beef from EBT. You already know how that shit go. We in this bitch, boy, that shit. On Cheat, you know how that shit go.
Yeah, we out here, man. That go be shit.
Pop the shit out of you, little Kenny. On the G, boy, you got me fucked up. And Vontae, you was a hoe, boy. You was not with the shits on Tuka, boy. Your ass is a lame, boy. Where the fuck did you come from, boy? Your ass a goofy, talking about some Chris Will. Fuck a little Chris, boy. On the G. Yeah, that's fucked up, boy. Cheat, Tuckerville, tutu gang shit. Ain't lying, ain't lying, ain't lying, ain't lying, ain't lying. I'm the smoke.
I don't know.
You mentioned K.I. You said K.I. was in your house very often.
That's my baby. That was my baby.
When you go on YouTube, you see documentaries like The Deadliest Female Op, The Real K.I. Story, King Von and her going back and forth, all these different documentaries about her having 9 bodies, 10 bodies, 6 bodies. Who was K.I. to you? Did you ever see that side of her?
Never. I know she was my daughter's best friend, okay? And they were like this. So Kyra was at my house a lot, okay? The anniversary of my daughter, because they were killed a month apart in the same year. My daughter's anniversary is. So when we lost the twin, it kind of brought us close. You know what I'm saying?
So you're confirming that?
And then I say, how's you liking a stud? It was weird to me. How you got a crush on a stud? How you want a stud? It gotta be something else, okay? So
you a trip.
When it just came out, like, and I'm seeing how her and Von going back and forth, and he flirting with her, and you know what I'm saying? I can honestly say I didn't know none of them babies personally who Duck was into it with. I didn't know Von personally. I didn't know Odie personally. I didn't know T-Roy personally. I didn't know none of these babies. I just knew that somewhere down the line that my kids were entwined with that mix, okay? You understand what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you which one is which, but a lot of that information is so accurate, so whoever they getting their resources from, they hitting it on the nail. Sometimes I look at that shit and I be like, how do they know this? They come at me all the time. Duck wasn't innocent. Duck, you act like Duck was innocent. I know for a fact Duck ain't killed nobody. At least talk about Brick that much. Because Duck was so
We have 16 people who have been injured, 2 people who have been shot fatally, one of them being 17-year-old Gakirah Barnes, who was just walking with a friend, and neighbors say a gunman fired, striking her at least 9 times. Now, we spoke to her mother, her grandmother, and uncle, who all say she was a great girl. She's more than just a statistic. She is a
Gakirah Barnes was born into the south side of Chicago in 1997. At 1 year old, her father was shot in the head with an AK-47 outside his home on 79th and Avalon. After this, Kira and her twin brother George would live with their mom and grandmother off 63rd and St. Lawrence. Growing up, she was known for being shy and was never really the troublemaking kind. She was attending a math and science institute and wanted to be a social worker when she grew up. The area she lived in was controlled by the gangster disciples though, and this would start to influence her over time. In her early teens, she began attending parties and associating herself with the GDs. She noticed the respect and protection the gang members received at these parties, and she envied it. As like most teens growing up in the rough neighborhoods like this, by age 13 she had already lost friends to the violent war, making her cold-hearted. She eventually joined the GDs and started repping her set, STL. If you don't know what STL is, you may be familiar with one of its most popular members, FBG Duck. She gained the nickname KI, or Snoop, which was a reference to Snoop from the TV show The Wire. As the war in her neighborhood heated up, her priorities started to shift towards status and reputation, something she was willing to risk everything to gain. Being a girl, she felt the pressure to really prove herself in the streets in order to get the respect the guys were getting. One way she could earn this would be to take out a high-ranking shooter from her set's biggest ops, Wick City or Parkway Gardens, the home of people like Chief Keef. Wick City and STL are located literally across the street from one another. Wick City and
Fuck is that? Cash?
Wick City or Parkway Gardens, the home of people like Chief Keef. Wick City and STL are located literally across the street from one another and had been at war for years. But things would escalate in January of 2011 after the death of 15-year-old Shondale Gregory. Shondale was murdered by Wick City and went by the now infamous nickname, Tuka. Rival gangs would mock the death of Tuka on social media and in songs. Because Tuka was only 15 when he was gunned down at the bus stop, this hit STL hard, and they even renamed their hood Tukaville.
I'm the most vicious, ruthless champion that ever been.
At the time, KI was only 13, but she and Tuka were friends, and this was her opportunity to put on for her set and get revenge. 8 months would go by, the war only getting worse, making the cross streets of these neighborhoods one of the deadliest in America. O.D. Perry, a man from Wick City, was rumored to have been one of Tuka's killers. On August 10, 2011, STL would celebrate Tuka's birthday and film FBG Duck's freestyle music video, where you can see a young KI in the cut. Shortly after the video was filmed, KI and a few other gang members
This nigga Duck is skinny and tall. He tall as shit.
would slide over to Parkway Gardens looking to start trouble. O.D. Perry would be riding a bike home from the corner store just outside Parkway around 11:30 p.m. KI and STL member Bostrel would open fire on O.D., shooting him in the neck and killing him. Wick City or Parkway Gardens would then rename their neighborhood in honor of O.D. They now called it O Block. This is where King Von comes in the story.
Yeah, bitch.
Word on the street spread fast, and KI was seen on social media with what looked like O.D. Perry's gun, proving she had caught the body. O Block quickly got word about who was behind this, and its members were all looking for KI and Bostrel. King Von was one of the people taking interest in getting revenge for O Block. Von, who was 17 at the time, was in and out of prison, and was suspected to have a few bodies already. The first interaction KI and King Von would have was on a train, where Von and other O Block members jumped and stomped her out. But soon after, KI would lose her cousin and friend Taekwon Tyler, who was just like a little brother to her. He was only 13. She cried all night and made a promise to avenge him in any way she could. She changed her Twitter username to Taekwon Assassin for him, and would go on shooting sprees often
I definitely remember seeing Taekwon Assassin on Twitter.
in his name. Becoming a real problem, O Block needed to get rid of her. King Von would write KI on Twitter, taunting and flirting with her at the same time. He enjoyed messing with her head, telling her that he liked her and wanted her for real. Sometimes they would argue, dissing each other's dead homies, and other times they acted like friends. They even spoke on the phone a few times. One day Von went out looking for KI at a popular store her gang hung out at. When he was spotted, they would lock the door to the store to keep him out. Von went to Twitter saying they were scared of him. KI replied back saying she was on her way, but nothing happened until days later when King Von and his best friend T-Roy were shot at. Von was hit in his leg but was fine. He and T-Roy tweeted that they were going to kill KI for real. These threats would go back and forth until other members from STL also jumped in the beef. STL Wooski would get in an argument with Vaughn on Twitter the day after his cousin Modell was killed. In the same month, KI's friend P5 was set up for a fake drug deal and was also gunned down. Shortly after, Bostrel, the man who she killed O.D. Perry with, was also killed. KI was losing more friends back to back, and now had even more reason to find King Von. He was suspected to be involved in at least 2 of the 3 murders that month. Things were getting scary for both sides. Vaughn was fighting a few cases and would end up in jail shortly after for over 2 years. While he was locked away, artists from O-Block like Chief Keef were blowing up, which actually made the war between O-Block and STL worse. Seeing the mainstream success of their ops, STL also tried to get their artists popping as well. FBG Duck was the most promising of their crew, but was struggling to get anywhere close to the success that the O-Block rappers were seeing. Vaughn would have his sister write KI, telling her to come visit him in prison, refusing to let his absence get in the way of trolling her. She obviously never did, as she was busy turning into a cold-blooded killer, taking the life of O-Block's J-Money and possibly others. Her Twitter following had gone up by almost 4,000 as people around Chicago heard the stories about her. King Von was later released from jail in February of 2014, almost 2 years after this personal beef had started. The first day he was out, he was tweeting KI, asking if she missed him, but the conversation quickly turned into discussing dead ops once again. She teased Vaughn about J-Money, and Vaughn teased her about Modell. Things would go silent after this, but King Von knew what needed to be done. In April of 2014, Chief Keef's cousin Blood Money was back in town visiting the hood. He was pulled up on and shot 10 times. Some believed KI was involved with the hit, but it was never confirmed. Only 2 days later, STL was set to have a barbecue for Bostrel's birthday, and in remembrance of him. KI, of course, was to be in attendance. She left her home around 1:30 p.m. and walked down the street of 63rd and St. Lawrence. Around 3:30 p.m., KI and 20 other gang members were outside hanging out. King Von and Big A from O-Block would get the news about this and immediately headed to 63rd Street. Von got out of the black car and walked down the alley between the neighboring houses. He then warned a few people to get out of the way before firing shots. KI was hit 9 times and died on the porch after attempting to crawl away. The police found 14 shell casings in the area and asked witnesses for information. Vaughn was taken into custody and was even identified by a few witnesses as someone who may have been the killer. But he had an alibi, and he said he checked into his parole officer that day, and it checked out. Although there was still a 30-minute gap where he could have committed the crime, the police dropped the case due to inconsistencies, and he was set free. To the public, none of this information was known at the time, and only those closely involved with O-Block and STL knew the truth. King Von was later jailed for another case, but never tried for the death of KI. Over 5 years later, A&E produced a documentary about the savage life KI lived. They reached out to people who knew her for interviews. After all the tweets between King Von and KI were recovered years later, they thought it would be a good idea to interview Von about her. They thought he was in love with her because of the nature of their tweets back and forth. Little did they know, they were interviewing the man who killed her.
He was trying to set her up and kill her. That's what she told me. She's like, I think he just trying to kill me. He don't like me. What's the life?
That's different, bro. Hey, that's different if you got these white folks that's just in black people business trying to make some money off black people business, you feel me? So the whole time they ain't even really did their research. So they linking up with Vaughn, like come do an interview. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time it's some other shit. They interviewing allegedly the potential killer of the person that's wicked, bro. If they don't make no movie about her, that's different. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's different. Let's come back to them.
I was yawning, round the crack of dawn, and folks them call me. They know that I'm coming. My drum hold 100. My car running, E-way hit 100. Pull up, got the thumping. They was running, now hop back in my car, now the police coming.
That's when K.I. took it upon herself to tweet out her location.
Gotta get back. That was 14.
King Von couldn't let this opportunity pass by because he had been trying to set up K.I. for a long time, pretending to have a love interest in her. As the group of STL members reached the 6400 block of South Eberhard, a car crept up slowly behind them. During the shooting, Butter and another associate was hit. K.I. was hit 9 times.
Hold on.
Check it out now. Surprise, surprise. King Von wasn't just rapping it. He might have been doing it, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people have this whole myth about King Von. One time he said he caught 17 bodies while he was 17, okay? He was on pace to have a 30 for 30. For real, for real. He was a guy who bragged about many murders and sometimes even pretty much just snitched on himself in songs by saying who he shot, where, when, and what type of gun, okay? He was just about that life. Now, he did serve some time in jail and actually prison, but, you know, he really got off light with especially all the stuff he was talking. Now, here's the thing. Because somebody filed like this Freedom of Information Act and they uncovered the police report and for all the investigations that cops did into a murder of somebody else that's kind of notorious in Chicago. Now, this person is called Gakirah Kai Barnes, okay? Now, a lot of people, if you're into like the whole Chicago thing or you watch War in Chirac, even though I didn't cover her, you would have probably heard this name. Most notably, she was also seen as quote-unquote a killer of many people, but she was also linked to the death of OD. If you don't know, OD got killed, and that's how O Block was formed. Now, the girl who allegedly killed OD allegedly got killed by King Von, okay? And this is what's coming out in the police report. Now, you might be saying, huh? How come the police claim they know King Von killed her, never charged him? Basically, they're saying they didn't have enough proof to bring it to a trial, okay? He's the main suspect. They believe he did it, but they believe if they brought that case in front of a judge, it would not be successful, and no DA wants to take a flimsy case to court. Now, it could be for a bunch of reasons. It could be maybe the DNA isn't all that clean. The fingerprints ain't all that clean. Maybe the eyewitnesses ain't that credible. Maybe the eyewitnesses got killed. Who knows? But for whatever reason, it never made it to court, okay? But if you read the actual document that came up in this Freedom of Information Act uncovering, it basically says that, hey, the person who allegedly killed her was Dave Von Bennett, a.k.a. King Von. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If you guys watch these guys from Chicago and even Dirk, and sometimes you might wonder, like, yo, why it seems like bad things or whatever keep following them. These guys were into a lot of stuff. And I'm not going to be here and judging anyone claiming anyone's a good guy or a bad guy. All these guys have rapped.
Hey, have y'all noticed the way he talks now and how he talked before is completely different? You feel me? He ain't rude, disrespectful. He ain't cracking jokes. Know what I'm saying? Like, he just straight on top of shit. You feel me?
About murders and also promoted it, but a lot of times they have had people around them either do them or have gotten people on their side murdered as well, okay? So when I see this, and by the way, people used to think that they had a crush on each other. This is how confusing Chirac slang and like Chirac like ops communication is. They used to tweet back and forth at each other, King Von and Kai, on Twitter, and people said, oh, they would make like a great like couple. No, they hated each other. They wanted to kill each other. Okay, now some people also point out they were at one point cool, but isn't that the case with every type of hood where people grow up and you kind of grow into hate, right? As a little kid or when you're younger, you're a little bit more innocent and you don't really have that hatred for everybody. You might be seen pictured with a couple people or you might not have an issue with certain people until certain things happen, okay? Now, what are we supposed to make of this? Again, this is probably going to go down and add to the myth and the legend of King Von. Unfortunately, some people like to hear when he's accused of murdering people. I don't think this is dope. You know, some of the things and some of his actions that he probably did in Chicago led to him acting out that night, and also probably led to other people who perceived him as, oh, this is the infamous killer. We can't just beat him up or fight him. We gotta treat him the same way how he would treat us. So it's one of those things that become almost cyclical. You know, you got to pray for the family. And I know some of y'all might be like, yo, why does it matter if this is coming out now? You know, the family of Gakirah Barnes, like, they could finally get some justice. They could actually know what actually happened to their loved one. And they could have rappers who are pretty much, I choose not to cover them because, you know, it's a very sad situation. And the war in Chirac was a long time ago in terms of what I covered. But I could tell you, and rest assured, the war in Chirac is still alive and kicking. I'm just not covering it. Okay, they had 100 people that got killed like last week. I'm good. Okay, they're killing people before you could even know their names. All right, I don't know how they're going so fast in Chicago. Okay, but I digress.
Look at the difference. He said, "I'm no longer covering it." You was a part of the. All right, King Von. Yeah, all right. Let's go to. I couldn't even find it. Let's just go. Let's go here first.
It's an ongoing war, and we don't know what for.
For Chantel Brown, the statistics are more than just 2 people killed. One of them being Brown.
Lovely girl.
17-year-old Gakirah Barnes loved basketball, her friends, and being with family.
I love her, and I'm going to fight for her to have justice because I don't think it's fair that we're losing our kids being gunned down every day.
400 block of South Eberhard. But neighbors say Barnes and a friend were walking along the sidewalk when a gunman started firing.
When the bullet hit, it was so powerful she fell on the step.
Residents who do not want to be identified say Barnes fought to live, but had been shot at least 9 times.
In the jaw, in the neck, and in the chest, and in the leg. 9 times, they said.
Barnes was transported to Northwestern where she died, and tragically for this neighborhood, it wasn't the first child lost to gunfire.
I wanted to cry because I had 2 children that had been murdered, so I know how that mother feels.
Gakirah's mother and several other organizations have collectively put together a $10,000 reward for the person who brings forward the information that leads to an arrest and a conviction.
That 10,000 ain't shit to a nigga that had $1 million. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What's the word, YouTube family? It's your man Chris Barnes back at you with another video. If you like the content, don't forget to hit the subscription button. Now, right now, we're going to visit the death site of K.I., Gakirah Barnes. She was probably one of the most famous STL EBT members because she was known for inventing O-Block at just the age of 14. 1 second, we're about to ride over to the house right now, and I'll keep talking. So she invented O-Block at just the age of 14, and she was gunned down, and she died right here on this porch. Right here, guys. Right here. So not only did she invent O-Block, but she was the first person to actually drink blood money. Yeah, she was the first person on EBT to drink blood money. So rest in peace, Gakirah Barnes, K.I. We need to put the guns down. And you guys, anybody that's blaming her for getting upset, she lost her man when she lost Taekwon, y'all. She did. She lost her man when she lost Taekwon. So I appreciate you guys for the support. 4,000 subscribers. We're over.
Alright, chat, YouTube, you feel me? And we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up with KI, you feel me? It's sad, bro. You feel me? That shit sad. That shit wicked. You feel me? That shit wild. Like I told y'all, I'ma probably say this in probably not every video, but a lot of my videos. I'ma try to remember to say this, bro. It's a lot of these niggas that starting to change their life, starting to get into YouTube, starting to do other little shit, move around, all kind of shit, you feel me? these niggas got the chance. They got the opportunity to change their life. But you got a lot of these niggas that done died in these streets. A lot of females that done died in these streets. You feel me? That don't get the chance to change their life. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. She lost her life. You feel me? She teed up for her dead man, Saquon. You feel me? And that's how she went out thugging. You know what I'm saying? But not finna get into who really killed her and shit. You feel me? But man, Chirac, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? At some point in time, man, I got to do better. You feel me? As a whole, y'all got to come to. I ain't gonna say come together because so much has happened. But at some point in time, everybody gotta just go their own way. You feel me? At some point. But because even the Bloods and the Crips, there's some Bloods and some Crips in Cali that put their shit down, came together. You feel me? At some point in time, motherfuckers gotta come together. But hey, make sure y'all go over there to that Twitch, hit that follow button. Make sure y'all go over to that motherfucking YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Shoot Quan shoot, and I am up out this bitch. Yeah.